These guys keep talking even during the break. And so we're coming back right now. We finished with China in the north. Dan, you were just talking about, the how ill-prepared Canada was for Trump.
Yeah, we never expected it. And yet we had Trump before. We should have known these things. And rather than sort of sitting around saying hope was our strategy that he didn't win, someone should have taken the time, as Mark has pointed out, certainly our diplomatic or our folks in foreign affairs, where I worked, would have known this in advance and would have telegraphed that to everybody and their brother.
Or
would have had their yes. And we should have had our network should have been skulking around all over downtown Washington to find out what the heck was going on. That transition team, they weren't quiet about what they were doing. They were telling us last November what they were going to do. So it wasn't a secret. We knew that he was going to impose tariffs, and now all of a sudden it's a big revelation. So, well, we never knew that it was going to be 25%.
Anthony, based on what you're hearing on both sides of you, should we just toss out the whole bunch of them in Canada and have new leaders, new civil servants, because they screwed it up?
Well, I think the government du jour is going to get tossed out. I think that's quite evident that that's about to happen.
Liberals are going to take you on.
Yeah, well, that's fine. They know my number. No, I live in the real world, so let's keep the conversation the same way we're doing. Let's be realistic about it, and let's be truthful about it. Is we should have had a plan. We should not have based our entire foreign policy or diplomatic relations with the U.S. based on he may not win the election. So I understand where these two gentlemen are coming from, and whether or not I think Donald Trump is running the country or not, I'm always going to say no, but he is volatile. He's unpredictable. And we've had 4 years. This is like watching The Godfather and then not expecting The Godfather Part 2.
I'm not expecting the horse head in the bed. Yeah. Go ahead.
I don't know if Donald Trump is volatile and unpredictable. I appreciate the comment, but I think, look, here's a guy, he's a business guy, number one. He's a straight shooter, and I don't think that people enjoy that. I think they want to see, or they're used to a type of person in that role. He's not diplomatic at all, and I think he says exactly what he's going to do. They don't really see that in politicians. But I can tell you, based on the outset of the show, you're talking about what he's done in terms of the biggest issue that's facing us right now is the imposition of tariffs.
Right.
And everybody say, why is he doing this? Why is he doing this? Why is he doing this? Well, again, I go back to, but we should have known why he's doing this. And I think it doesn't take a maxillofacial surgeon to understand that he's looking at, hey, you know what? I think I want to put more money back in Americans' pockets, because that's what he said during the campaign. I'm going to say to you, I got to make you're all complaining about having no money. You're complaining about prices, blah, blah, blah. I put more money in your pockets. How am I going to do that? You're the economist. Yeah. He's going to say, I'm going to get rid of income tax.
Well, he did. And the other thing to keep in mind is that he has certain ideas as to what he wanted to achieve. We didn't respond. The only one who responded, and we may not like it, is Danielle Smith. Yeah. She had a quick, rapid response, not just to Donald Trump, but also to officials and many of the states who rely very heavily on Canadian heavy oil, because without that, there's no diesel. Without no diesel, you don't run your economy in the United States. And that's why I think you saw a concession. So it just took a little bit of attempt by Canadians and by some of our officials on the Team Canada to actually take the time out and say, maybe we should meet them one by one on these issues. This is a trade negotiation. This wasn't I'm going to hit you with this. This was we proved that with a little bit of discussion, a little bit of time, we could have done this right.
Let's hear Anthony on that, because some people say, well, he's just a bully. He's just out there hitting us over the head. He just doesn't like us. And to your point, he wants to show Americans, I can put more money in your pocket. So if we have in the States pumping out more oil and gas, don't need it from Canada, then we can put a tariff on, and we're ahead. So is he just being mean to us?
I think Donald Trump the president is looking out for his own country.
Of course
he's looking out for his own country. So let's approach it with that. But I'm somebody who values history and partnerships over this is my country. And I think having a partnership with Canada is valuable, and I hope that the president sees that. But I understand where these gentlemen are coming from, that in order to have that happen, there should have been a readiness so that we could make that unified approach and avoid these things.
So you hope the president sees that. How are we going to do that? Okay. He hasn't.
Well, he hasn't right now, because now he did this when he was first elected in 2016, flexing his muscles, governing through Twitter and all this stuff. This is the beginning part of it. We're in the beginning stages of his presidency. This isn't like a parliamentary system. He's going to be there for 4 years. And if he gets his constitutional change, maybe the rest of his life. But what I want to do, what I'm hoping happens is we come up with an approach to unify North American trade and rebuild those diplomatic relationships with the United States.
He'll go after whoever's weak. Art of the deal. That's all I have to say. He will go, if he sees weakness, he'll exploit it. If we push back, if there is no weakness there, I think you'll find he'll move on to something
And
else.
I like your comment. That's great. But if you could, do we have to go?
No,
Because
no.
if we could, if it's one of those things where he's saying, I'm going to put the pendulum way over here to get it back here, then he's winning.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
he's doing a fantastic job. Because I think we're at the stage right now where Trump wants, and I think this is where Canada's got to say, I like this too, Fortress North America.